Tradies Tuesday with industry mentor Miles Primrose from Business Side. Miles has been, of course, mentoring traders and builders from across Australia for about 17 years now. He joins me here talking about what tradies need to do to get ready for 2020. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Yourself?
I'm good. Is this how they'll measure success?
Well, this here,
Yes.
my goal was to connect with you on a spiritual level.
It's good to see you level-headed.
Rightio. Anyway, so what do they need to do to get ready for 2020? So there's 5 or 6 things that I've got. And the first thing I believe people need to do, trades and builders need to do, and a lot of them don't do this, is to do a debrief at the end of the year.
About dad jokes or?
That was 34 seconds ago. Do a debrief. So a lot of them just close up shop. They're stressed out. They think, okay, I'm just going to switch off my phone, have a week and a half or 2 weeks off, and hopefully everything's going to be better next year. But if they've got a team, get your team together and talk to them about the year, what worked, what didn't work, and document it. And to me, there's a couple of things that are going to happen from that. One is they're going to actually feel a little bit lighter from actually going through what worked or didn't work. They're going to learn some things, and also when you get the team involved, the team are going to actually, I suppose, be happier that actually you're involving them in the process of the business.
So kind of like an end of year Christmas party where you get together and have a conversation, but perhaps not with as many beverages.
Maybe before the Christmas party.
Doesn't make for a great Christmas. What are the sort of things that you could judge as a trader or a builder how your 2019 was?
You could look at things like your profitability, and let's assume that they've got some sort of plan that they can actually measure themselves against.
Yeah.
So
previous year, for example, how they went the previous year, or what their expectations had been.
They might have had a goal to make a certain amount of money. Did they get in front of that? Did they meet that? Were they behind that? Why not? How was their exposure on social media? Did they get leads from that? It could be productivity, getting jobs finished on time, because I know a lot of guys, their jobs run overtime, and it's not always a client, sometimes it's other factors. So there's some things they can fix, there's some things that they can't. The second thing is, think about 2020, like plan ahead. When do you want your holidays? So a lot of guys say, I had a guy yesterday, he's never taken a holiday. He's 36.
Don't they say holidays can kill you though? I thought millionaires always say that holidays, when they go on holidays, that's when Elon Musk went away, came back with a shocking infection and said holidays will kill you because you do things that you wouldn't normally do.
He's a little bit different. He's not human. Great bloke, but I think that a lot of the people that actually just keep on going and keep on going and keep on going, then they have a holiday, well, the body just says what's going on.
Absolutely.
And it's stopping to actually...
You absolutely crash.
Yeah. So, and also it helps you clear your head when you go and have a bit of a break. Yeah. You don't actually have to go anywhere, and I mean, obviously...
It's about perspective, right? It's about that ability to look back on where you're at, where you're living, how your work's going, how your employees are going, and to think about what needs to change, what are the things that aren't necessarily working.
I mean, I'm going to have a look back and perspective on how you and I have travelled over the last few months, and look at how things can be better for next year.
Will you be using millimetres, centimetres or inches?
Map out your high-level goals. That's number 3. So think about 3 or 4 big goals. Don't think of too many. So one might be, okay, how many jobs are we going to do for the year? It might be.
How can you know that though? How can you, given that a lot of work comes into you, how can you know how many jobs that you'll have next year?
Well, you've got to create a forecast and actually what you'd like to create.
Right.
So if somebody turned over $800,000 this year, well, they might think, okay, well, I'm going to put somebody else on next year, another full-time person. My goal for next year is to do 1.2. So once you've actually created that forecast, then the next thing for you to do is to actually put a marketing strategy underneath that, or work out how to sell better or close better, so you can actually head towards that. There's no use just working, otherwise you actually wear yourself out.
Yeah. And it's an employee thing as well, right? It's making sure that employees are okay, what have they learned? Because that biggest lesson as an employer is you don't know everything. And quite often your employees might be perhaps backwards and coming forwards about things that they've seen in other workplaces that could do better in your workplace. It's a great way for a bit of backwards and forwards.
Absolutely. And look, with the workshop that I run, there's 3 areas that I look after personally. One is the financial side. The other is helping people get clear on the big picture and helping people create the structure to support that. I've got 43 other people that actually go through all the other areas in business. And some, I don't consider myself a coach, but some coaches, it's like they want to do everything themselves because I think they've got the fear of missing out if they actually give work to other people. So yeah, you've really got to identify what you're good at and who else you need.
So learning to be able to pull back a little bit, learning to be able to share some responsibility, learning about people's personality, who is someone who can actually perhaps sell better than you can yourself, because we often find that the owner of the business sometimes isn't the best salesperson for the business, right?
Absolutely. And it's about, I say, it's about actually creating space for other people in your business, because there's a lot of guys more than women that actually, they've got their arms folded, oh, nobody can do it as good as me. It's generally the guys that are sort of 50 years plus, but that tends to be the case.
And is that a generational thing, do you think, or is it because of an experience side that perhaps they've had so much that they're worried about that they don't want to let the other people have a go?
I believe it's the majority. When you say it's a generational thing, yes, not everybody, but the majority of it are like that. The other thing is to do a review of your team. You should be doing a review of it, and sitting them down, and actually the ones that actually want to do well, they actually do want some feedback.
Yeah.
What did I do well? What do I need to learn? What do I need to do better? And sit down away from your normal work environment, document it, and actually give them some documented feedback on actually what's working and what's not working.
And how does that often go? Or what's the feedback you get from people who do that? Do people find that helpful?
The guys that actually try it for the first time, it's a little bit of a struggle or a challenge, and some of them don't want to do it because they haven't done it before and all these different reasons.
There's a lot of builders and workplaces like that. Everyone's very matesy, right? And it's hard to have that serious conversation with someone who, Jono, let's go to the pub and have a beer.
It is, and it's a great time to actually stop being like that. And to me, you've got two types of people: the people that actually want to do really well and they actually want some feedback, and they're going to actually appreciate it. And the other ones that are just a bit more blasé and, how are you going? Well, you're really going to separate the people, and you're going to actually think about, well, who do I actually need on my team in 2020? And the last thing is, make sure you document all this. So you're going to feel a lot better actually going into your break, knowing that even if you've got 1 or 2 pages, you've got something documented, ready to go into 2020, and something you can actually measure, so you can actually work towards those goals and those results.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the next time I see you, Miles, you'll be hosting your own program.
Absolutely. The Trades and Builders Business Show.
Wonderful. Right here on Ticker.
January the 14th.
Yes.
Tuesday.
The day after we come back.
Absolutely. I'll give you a day's... a day to get ready and get back into things before you actually have to deal with me.
I'm taking the 3 weeks off so that I can just prepare myself for the show. What can we expect?
I'm already talking to some heads of suppliers at the moment, and they're pretty keen. So talking to suppliers, so they're going to come in and actually talk to us about what they're doing differently for their members and clients for 2020. There'll be some heads of associations to come in and do the same thing, to say to us, okay, what are we going to deliver to our members that we're going to do better this year?
Yep.
There's going to be some up and coming trades and builders. Some are my clients, some are not, and they're going to talk to us about their journey on how they've actually built their business. And there's going to be some days where I'm actually going to be going through some business tips to actually help people with some amazing information to help them run their business a bit better. I suppose you could say to help them be as good at business as they are at their trade.
Ha ha ha. Very well done. I'll let you take that. Now it comes in centimetres, inches, and now we've got miles. I'll talk to you soon.
I think your jokes need to level out a bit.